Alright, so this is Tsla, and it's an amazing online service that helps you find the best trading opportunities. They have multiple different screeners for credit spreads, bull and bear squeezes with a lot of trading activity, option sweeps to follow large trades and big money moves, and a lot more for your different trading strategies. There's a trading board so you can log all your trades as soon as you enter. You're gonna get real-time alerts sent straight to your phone and get a good idea of your percentage of wins and losses. You're gonna get access to fast market news on any stock, and that's valuable in itself. But the best feature is the community Discord group, where you can exchange trading ideas and get guidance from the Tsla team. So you can sign up for $34.95 a month. That's less than a tank of gas, but make sure that you sign up with my link and get your first month for 20% off. All right, so make sure you check out Tsla. If you haven't already tried out Webull, they're giving away more free stocks when you sign up and fund your account with any amount or transfer over. And you'll get $5 worth of any of these coins when you make your first crypto trade worth at least $1. So sign up with my link in the description below. Yep. Black Girl Stocks official merch is now live, so you can either scroll down and click underneath this video, or you can go over to teesprings.com. We have t-shirts, different colors, different sizes, crew necks, sweatshirts, get rich, stay rich, everything positive. You already know how we do. So go ahead, check out Black Girl Stocks official merch. Join the Black Girl Stocks Options Trading Discord group for my weekly watch list, trading strategies with entry and exit points for your trades, day trading and swing trading ideas posted throughout the day with AI technology, tips, and a community of over 300 options traders. So click the link in the description below to join today.
Foxtail from the deep.
Okay, we are live now. What's going on? Okay. Hold on. What's going on, YouTube? Okay, this is Foxtail Digital coming to you again with Black Girl Stocks, and this is our Sunday live chat where we're just going to come and talk about what's been going on in the stock market this week. Okay, and also some of the stocks and options that we were looking into just going into the rest of October. So it's October 16th, so we're pretty much at that halfway mark going into holiday season. We just got important inflation data last week. We're right in the beginning of earnings season from Q3, so there's a lot of stuff going on going into the rest of the month. So what's going on, everybody? We have Lena in the house. What's going on, Lena? What's going on, Raphael, Chase, Sky Kid, Terry? Oh my goodness. Yeah! We have Demi in the chat. What's going on, Demi? What's going on, Miss Mac? Oh, okay, what's going on, Will 83 from Florida? So let's go ahead and let's get into it. So you pretty much know, if you guys have been here before, you know what we're gonna do. If you want to talk about a stock or an option, what I need for you to do is in the comment section below, make sure that you leave the ticker symbol for the stock, and if you have an option series, that's with the strike price, expiration date, call or put, you know, that helps too. But we can figure it out. We can get there. But if you already know what you want, then that, of course, is going to help us at the same time. Here for the tea. What's going on, Sharon? What's going on, Frederick? What's up? Bonfire Podcast. What's going on, Bonfire? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with SPY, and I'm going to do things a little bit differently today. I don't know how it's going to play out, but just bear with me, you guys. All right, so the first thing, you know, we always start with the daily chart, just a little, I didn't even mean for that to rhyme like that, but it did. So we can still use the same Fibonacci levels that we've had for a while. So this is gonna take us back until pretty much the top of the year. And you can see we have, oh, hold on. So I'm in the Heikinashi candles. We've talked about that before. This is great for trend traders. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you would have saw that post. But this is a way that you can just kind of see easily when trends are weak or when they're at their strong point. So let's go back to the regular candlesticks. So just kind of looking at where we are, we have passed below that important 374.3 fib level. So it's around 23.6%. We tested it slightly last week, but after that terrible CPI news that came out and some pretty interesting earnings, you know, you can see how we played out towards the end of the week, and that's that candle on Friday. Now, we did say that we're going into earnings, and I just want to look at this CPI data from last week. Okay, so let me guys know what you think about this segment. So the September CPI rose, and you know, we're at a 40-year high right now. So that wasn't good news going into the rest of the year, and it's pretty much a guarantee that we're going to have another at least 75-point increase in December on our next Federal Reserve meeting. So the Federal Reserve continues to see a bright green light with respect to future interest rate increases, okay? So just based on that, the stock market plummeted on Friday, and the three major indices, the main ones that we're looking at are SPY and NASDAQ, but they were down 2.1 and 2.8% and in that order. Lord have mercy. So, I mean, that's really something interesting, you know, going into the rest of the month. Now, something I also wanted to show you guys, and I don't have it up here. Hold on real quick. I really want you guys to see this. And while I'm getting all of this situated, make sure you guys click that thumbs up button for me too. But we are going into earnings, like we said. Now, shouts out to Earnings Whispers, but I want to show a few highlights of the earnings reports that are coming out next week. Oh, you guys can't even see this. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, there we go. So, and this is, you know, they put a lot of work into this, but some of the main ones that we have on Monday, we're going to have Bank of America, Charles Schwab. We're going to have Martin on Monday. On Tuesday, we have Netflix, United, Johnson & Johnson, Goldman Sachs, Albertsons, and, you know, they're kind of in the headlines right now because they have a merger supposedly with Kroger going on. So that's something to look at. And you already know what we're going to be looking at. Tesla has an earnings report on Wednesday. It's going to be after market close. And I've noticed that a lot of these larger earnings happen after close. I don't know if they don't want to, you know, mess up the market. I don't know. But Netflix also has an earnings after close on Tuesday. I passed over that. Now, one thing I want to say really quickly, just looking at that, I don't know if you guys are familiar with the market maker move. That's just a projection of how much a stock is going to move around earnings. Now, the two big ones are Netflix and Tesla. So Tesla is projected to move $20, about $20 or so during their earnings. So that's going to be on the 19th. And for Netflix, they're projected to move $31. So if there's any stock that you want to be looking at next week, it's definitely probably going to be Tesla or Netflix. Those are going to be big movers going into this week. All right. So let me see. I haven't even been looking at the comments. What are you guys talking about? Okay. Oh, South Africa. Hello. Hey, Keith. Keetu Metsi. That's cute. I like that. Okay. Hey, Pansy Rose. That Wednesday pop was everything. I know that's right. Cassandra said, greetings, financial minded. Respect to all my African brothers and sisters. Yes. Okay, so we've already looked at SPY. So let's go ahead and let's look at Netflix. Now, remember, we have an earnings report coming up going into next week. So If you're trading options, you want to make sure you're looking at this implied volatility. High implied volatility usually insinuates, is that the right word? I need to get my thesaurus on because, yeah, that's going to point towards higher premiums. So if you want to do anything with Netflix or Tesla going into earnings, you might want to lean towards a credit receiving position. That's either, for me, you know, my favorite, it's either going to be a vertical credit spread or an iron condor, but you can do, you know, whatever you prefer, but those are just my go-tos. So looking at the Netflix chart, and you know, we're not going to see too much movement here because we've been range trading, and you know, range trading is when we're trading in between a cute little support and resistance zone, and it's kind of mapped out for us with the super trend indicator here. So this is using Webull. You know, I love my super trend. That's the red line. Now, we have some resistance around this 250 range, and we have, you know, some pretty good support around this 220, 230-ish, kind of where we are right now. So we're kind of in between those ranges. Now, you know that Netflix just announced that they're going to have their new tier of ads. So I think it's going to be $6.99. So that's going to be starting going into the holiday season. So that's going to bring in a lot more revenue for Netflix, apart from the 1 million new subscribers that they had come up in Q3. Hold on, you guys. I have a little thing. Okay, so look, let's just look at this. Stocks to watch. Okay, so these are some of the big names that we were talking about going into earnings for next week. And I really just want to highlight this Netflix segment. So pay attention to this. So Netflix will report earnings on October 18th, with analysts looking for revenue at $7.8 billion. Okay, and they're expecting to have an earnings per share of $2.17. So that's really nice. Now the consensus also calls for a $1.1 million, or excuse me, they have 1.1 million paid subscribers added to the Q3 quarter. And they're suggesting that that's probably skewed by Stranger Things, but don't sleep on that Jeffrey Dahmer series, honey, because I know a lot of people definitely tune in for that. If you guys are into, you know, horror things, you know what's going on. I think I've seen it maybe 3 times. Don't think I'm crazy. I just, So, but yeah, so this is going to be really good. And, you know, like I said, they're going to have that streaming tier with the ads. So this really, for investors and marketers, this represents a massive increase in potential premium video ad impressions around the world. So they are expecting stronger demand for Netflix. I mean, just think about the people who pay for ads, and they're going to have their ads on Netflix. So yeah, we'll see what happens for Netflix. Tesla, their earnings looks pretty cute too. I really wanted to highlight that going into next week. Now, if you look at Tesla, and I just kind of want to give a shout out to Seeking Alpha. This has been a, you know, my go-to for probably the past month, just doing research, looking at stocks with their earnings and looking, you know, more into the fundamental side instead of going into several different sources. I really just go for them. But let's just look at Tesla. I know we were looking at Netflix, but let's just look. And I didn't update that over here either. Hold on, you guys. Okay. So let's just come down here, and something that I wanted to highlight, and we can look at Netflix too, but this is going to be for Tesla, their earnings per share. Now look at all of these earnings from 2001 until where we are right now. Now, this dark line, this is what they were expected to have, the bar, and the light blue bar is what they actually, you know, that was the result. And, you know, we have a history of earnings beats. So, you know, we're kind of expected to have the same thing going into this week. So, do I want to be bullish? Right now, I really don't want to be bullish or bearish because we're going to be doing, you know, a credit receiving position. I would just say have your limits somewhere within that $30 range. So if I was gonna have anything, if I was gonna do a put credit spread and anticipate the price going up, I would probably have my limits down somewhere around that 200, and you can be a little bit more risky and you can kind of have it right where we have some movement. But I would probably say I would have my limits around 200 and 260. And I feel like that would be a safe zone for, you know, keeping that full premium during the earnings and beating that implied volatility crush. Okay. So that's interesting going into Netflix going into the rest of the week. But if I was going to follow that overall trend, I don't even really want to say bearish. It's really coasting around these 50 and 200 period moving averages here. So I'm still kind of in that range trading look for Netflix. So it's not really giving me too much. Okay. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up button for me too. Okay, so this is from Bonfire Podcast. And this is what is this? Duolingo. Oh. What happened with Duolingo? What happened? Golly. I was seeing something about Duolingo. What's going on, Asia Chan? What's up? Okay, oh, and I see that TQQQ. So interesting thing about TQQQ is that one of the short indices. We'll look at that. We can look at that next. Here from Instagram. What's up, No Name? I'm just interested in this news. Press release, Duolingo to announce second quarter results on Thursday, November 10th. That's not until next month. So Duolingo scoops up animation studio Gunner's first acquisition. I need to know what happened on Friday. I'm not really sure, but this drop is something else. So just looking at this, I really can't, I would say it's been in a downtrend, but really it's kind of been ranging and not really doing too much at all outside of what happened on Friday. And let me take all of these little technical signals off. Hold on, we don't need that. So let's kind of move in a little bit. So yeah, you can see we were somewhat range trading. We had a good, you know, even supply of support and resistance, overbought, oversold, you know, range trading. For whatever reason, we had a huge drop on Friday outside of just the overall market drop. I mean, that could be a thing that happened on Friday, but I mean, that's a lot. So news-wise, I don't know what's going on with Duolingo fundamentally, but you know, just with such a strong drop like that, I could anticipate a cute move upwards, and we haven't drawn any fibs. Let's just do a cute little fib real quick. And I don't know what it's gonna do for us. Hold on. Oh. Okay, we can work with that. Let me fix it up here. So, okay, this is interesting. This is interesting. So we're somewhat where we were back in May, June for Duolingo. So this is a huge drop. Now, whenever I see it with the fibs fall down to the zero, that kind of gives a little room for a reversal, just a short-term reversal. And not saying that it's going to move into a bullish, you know, trend reversal completely, but I wouldn't mind seeing it move up to, you know, this most recent upper fib level after falling so far, after the RSI being so oversold. So that would be around this 87. So we're at 78 right now. I don't want to say that I'm bullish, but I wouldn't sleep on anticipating a short-term move upwards going into next week. So just kind of see how we move around this key level, around this 78 where we are. You know, if we continue moving below that and we cross below, this will be our wick close on Friday. It was a little bit weak. It's still giving, what is this? This is a dragonfly doji. It's still giving, you know, a little bull. We'll see. So yeah, if we see a move below that, probably a move to this 77, that low that we had on Friday, then I would still be bearish going into next week for Duolingo. But if we can cross above that, maybe into this 81, so that would be above this recent candle close, and this is on the 4-hour chart, then I would be looking more so into a short-term move upwards, very short-term, okay? What are their options looking like? Yeah, that implied volatility, it's a little bit high for me, 70. It's a little high. And they don't really have a lot of options. Hold on, they don't have a lot of options for their options. So I might not mess with Duolingo. What's their volume? Oh no, their volume isn't even 1 million. We can still do something with it though. Okay. Michael said the 10-year cyclically adjusted PE ratios at 29 should be less than 20. That's true. The price to sell ratio is 2.4, should be 1. The Buffett indicator is 150%, should be 80. Which one is this for? What's up, Wody Lock? Okay. Oh man, I didn't update that. Lord have mercy. Okay, now I want to look at one thing. Seeking Alpha is fire. Yeah, Seeking Alpha is definitely fire. It has everything there. So make sure if you do look at Seeking Alpha, I have my link below. Make sure you use that link and it'll take you straight to where you want to go for Seeking Alpha. But one thing that was really interesting in the news last week, let's look at RIVN. Wow. Wow. Okay. So what was interesting with RIVN is they had a recall that they announced last week on Monday. So RIVN Automotive said to hit a speed bump with recall, but they are projecting that their production targets are still going to be met. But just check this out. Just look at this. RIVN Automotive fell in early trading on Monday after announcing a recall of nearly all of the 13,000 vehicles that the electric vehicle maker has produced. 13,000 vehicles that they're going to recall. And you know, they're kind of trying to say, oh, you know, in development for new cars and stuff like that and companies, it's normal to have recalls and stuff like this, but this is a different thing for RIVN. We really haven't seen a huge rollout from them, and there's a lot of eyes on them. They're coming out with the Teslas, and now Ford is saying by 2025 that they want their whole fleet to be electric. So this isn't the time to be playing around with recalls. You know, it's a shaky market for them. So after that, shares of RIVN fell 6.60% to $31. And they're a fairly new IPO. So let's look back at the chart. They haven't even been out that long. Look at that. This is how far back the stock goes. So, I mean, this is interesting for RIVN. So let me see. Let me do something real quick. This is RIVN. Y'all see that? Do you think that's a cute design? You like that? Let me show you. Let me just put this up here. So this is RIVN, this is Tesla. Leave in the comments below, which one do you like? And which stock would you prefer to have? Actually, yeah, I want to say both. Which one of these would you prefer to have? A RIVN truck or a cute little Tesla Roadster? And then which would you rather have 50 shares of, RIVN or Tesla? Leave it in the comments below. I'll wait. What's going on, Joshua? Sharon said no competition. that Tesla is fire. Asia said they tried to do a Tesla. They need to stay humble. Terry says Tesla. Dwa says Tesla. Frederick Tesla. Lucid, we'll look at Lucid. We'll see what she's talking about. Lucid, they're looking lackluster too. Lackluster Lucid. Everybody's saying Tesla, okay. So it's Tesla for me, even though we're talking about RIVN, I'm gonna have Tesla there. So looking at the chart, and we can't even look at the daily chart because this stock, I would say, is ranging as well. So with these tight ranges, and you can even see it with the DMI index, the directional moving index, once they're kind of tangled up a little bit, real kind of, you know, a little tight there, it's not really doing too much. It's in a range. So, I mean, yeah, going into next week, I really, like I said, I want to see how, wait, is this? I want to see how RIVN responds around this key level, around this $28 where we are. If we move below that, probably into the 27, then I'm going to be bearish. But just with the RSI as low as it is, I wouldn't mind seeing a cute little pullback up to this 31 range. And so an entry for that, like I said, is probably going to be around that 29. So that is interesting going into Lucid. Oop. Dawes said, I only short Lucid, or I only short RIVN. Frederick, oh my gosh, Frederick. All right, so I'm gonna look at Lucid in a second, but I also wanted you guys to look at this. Hold on. So another interesting thing about Tesla is they just announced that they're going to ship out, oh, I don't have it on here. I thought it was on here. Okay, I'll just say it, but they are going to ship out 100 semi trucks to PepsiCo on December 1st. So PepsiCo ordered these back in 2017. I thought I had, oh, here it is right here. PepsiCo set to receive their first Tesla semis in December. This is going to break everything. PepsiCo's already been doing its thing, but this is just going to, first of all, I think it's going to add safety to, you know, semi trucks on the road. Just with fatigue and driving for long distances, you'll be able to relax. You have all these screens and notifications and signals. So they ordered 100 of them. And what's interesting is each one of these trucks is going to be a tax break of $40,000. And this is going to be based on the Inflation Reduction Act. So we talked about this a little bit, I think around December of last year, but now I'm really kind of starting to see, you know, how a lot of that is going to affect, you know, these electric vehicles. So 40K with that, and it's a Class 8 truck. So for a lot of trucking companies, we're probably going to see a lot more orders from, you know, the Walmarts, the Amazons. So this is just the start for Tesla. God dog, Tesla. Wow. I'm not selling my Tesla shares. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Okay, so that's pretty much that on that. Now, the next stock that we can look at, let me put this off of here. Make sure you guys click that thumbs up. We have over 100 people in the chat, 60 likes. Come on, you guys. Click that thumbs up button for your girl. It's free and it helps me. So let's look at, what did I say? We were gonna look at Lucid. You said Lucid is cheap. Cheap doesn't mean good, does it? We'll have to see how active it is. Okay, so the volume is cute. It has a 23 million volume. That was on Friday, and their average volume is 17. So that's cute. It's a little bit higher than the 3-month average. And we saw that with that move downward. But overall, Lucid, it's definitely in a downtrend. So if I was going to do something for a long-term position, it would be in the direction of that overall trend. That's just, you know, just kind of what has been working. And we had that strong move downwards on Friday. So I would say this is kind of not trend trading, range trading, but it's not doing too much, but it's doing a little bit. Still in a downtrend. Now this is interesting. It looks similar to the RIVN stock, but just after that strong drop on Friday, the RSI is a little bit oversold. So even with this RSI indicator, we had this little crossover. We could see further movement downward because we are just kind of in the entry signal of this crossover. So just because of this crossover right here, I am going to anticipate further movement downward. But going into next week, I wouldn't be against a short-term move up also, excuse me. Because the price usually, it comes back to the moving averages here. And I wouldn't mind it coming back up to that 50-period moving average. Let that RSI move up a little bit, get a little bit more build up to continue moving downwards. So for me, going into next week, if I was going to anticipate, continue bearish movement, I'd probably wait for it to cross below, just probably at $11. So the low from last week was $11.87. So $11 would probably be my entry. And when you hear me say, like if I'm looking at this and I say bearish, and then I'll say, but if I have bullish entry, another way that you can look at that is as a stop. So basically, if I have a bullish entry right here, then this is definitely going to be where my stop would be. And that's an easy way to do that. So bearish stop would probably be where the super trend indicator is, and at the same time, a bullish entry, because at that point, we had been consolidating for a couple of days here. And so across above that would be a good signal for bullish entry. Even better would be a cross above that 50-period moving average. But let's see what their that implied volatility is so high right now. I don't know what's going on. I guess that's still off the movement from Friday. It was a busy day on Friday. So hopefully going into next week, overall the implied volatility is lower for options. Okay. That's interesting. Another thing, we have more earnings on travel stocks. So one of the big ones is going to be American Airlines. They're going to have one on the 20th. So let's look at American really quickly. Hold on. Wow. Wow. Okay, so we already have some fib lines drawn here, and I guess they start back from November. So these are pretty recent in these little moves here. But yeah, airline stocks are projected to do pretty well with their earnings. So Delta, they just had an earnings report, and they beat their earnings. I don't think I have. Okay. So just kind of looking at this, airline fare jumped 43% in September alone. Travel demand is rising, and we have a tight capacity support for pricing there. So airfare was up 42.9% in September compared to a year ago on an unadjusted basis, to jump from the pace seen in the prior month, okay? And we do have some earnings coming up. So in general, analysts expect airfare to stay elevated due to higher fuel cost, just what's going on overseas with energy stocks, oil stocks are up right now, and ongoing staff pressure. So some airlines have also tightened up capacity, which will support those higher prices. Now, these are all, some pretty good stocks here. So like I said, we have American coming up this week on the 20th, but just kind of going with the overall trend. It's still been in a downtrend, even with good earnings. So for me, if I was going to do something, let's look at the, yeah, like I said, any of these earnings plays, you can do a long, call or put, but if it was me, I would stick with the credit spreads. Trust me, you'll like it. But for me, if I was going to do anything, it would probably be a call credit spread. Now, American's market maker move, it's projected to move about 71 cents. I'm just playing. I'm not trying to be shady. But yeah, it's projected to move 71 cents. So honestly, you know, you don't have to worry about your limits being too crazy. Let's move in a little bit. Let's go to the 4 hour. And look at that, these fib lines every single time. I'm gonna have to take my friend Tati out to dinner. I'm gonna have to do something for her because she literally got me into these fib lines. And every single time we draw them, you know, it does a pretty good job of reaching and either rejecting those or you know, retracing around those levels. So it's really nice. But you kind of see we rejected that 1339 level. And now we're approaching that 1298. So let's just kind of see what happens going into next week. When's the 20th? Is that Wednesday or Thursday? Hold on. Okay, so that's Thursday, and that's also going to be before market open. So this will be a great time to keep your eyes on the news. See what happens with American, but for me, I'm definitely gonna probably do a call credit spread. And if you guys haven't done anything with credit spreads, make sure you watch. I'll have the link below to a video where we talked about doing credit spreads and stuff like that. So yeah, that's gonna be interesting for American. Okay, Asia says something funny, hold on. Oh, Trucker Z says, send me a truck. So you wouldn't mind one of those Tesla trucks, Z? And let me see, how much are they? Let's look at Tesla, hold on. How much do they cost? Look at this. I mean, I wouldn't mind driving in one of those. I'm trying to see how much they cost though. Okay, fuel savings of up to $200,000 over 3 years. I don't see a price though. Oh, it costs $20,000 to reserve one. Okay, well that's a little bit out of my price range right now. So they're not even dropping prices. So that means it must be high. It's $150,000. Not for me, but for somebody, okay? Xavier said, you said Netflix puts? Netflix puts, so, we looked at that though, hold on. We already talked about Netflix. Don't like the Netflix hype going on in the last 2 weeks. Hey, what's going on, Jay? I'll be a truck woman, I tell you that. I know that's right. $180,000 for the Tesla truck. Okay. Yeah, I'll sit out on that one. I need to get my home built first. But I mean, if it's bringing in good assets, yeah. I seen those showing them in the magazine a while back. Okay, so let's look at another one. This is VLDR. I've seen VLDR pop up in the Discord a few times last week. So let's see what she's talking about. Okay. What is this? Hold on, let me just kind of see what this is. LiDAR technology, primarily real-time 3D. Oh, 3D vision, okay. So is this dealing with, I don't know if this has anything to do with Meta and all that, but, so let's see. Check out VLDR. I mean, it's not really giving. Oh, that's why. It's a penny stock. There's nothing wrong with penny stocks. I'm not going to do that. It's just I don't. And it does have a pretty cute volume, so I'm not going to laugh at it. You could probably do some cute stuff with this if it has options. Let's move in. Let me see. Well, one thing that's interesting. Oh my gosh, girl, look at this. I know you guys can see it. It looks like we have a little divergence here. Okay, so you see that both our RSI indicator and our MACD indicator, both of those lines are, the slopes are rising, child, but our price has been steadily decreasing. So this is kind of giving a cute little possible bullish divergence. I don't know. I'm not sure, but it's done that before. It's done that here, so that could also be a continuation too. So don't get too excited. But it's just kind of something to note. I do see some divergence here. So that's something to look into for VLDR, but the overall trend is bearish. So I really, really want to go long. If I was going to go long, it would be in the direction of the overall trend. But yeah, I'm still probably going to be bearish on this, because even with the RSI rising, it's getting a little bit high for me. Seeing an RSI around 50 in a downtrend, that RSI, I would consider it to be overbought. So I'm still going to be bearish on VLDR. But yeah, it's looking a little slow for me. Still with good volume though, don't sleep on it. Sharon said crickets. Okay. Foxtel, Meta, how do you feel about the stock for the long term? You know, the thing about AI technology, I feel like I don't think it'll necessarily take jobs. I don't know how comfortable I would be with, you know, some 18-wheeler just driving around with no, you know, no human mind behind it, because a human's just going to make different decisions than a computer is. So I don't think it's ever going to come to that point. And if it does come close, then we have the capacity to, you know, I don't want to say riot, but we have more power than we think we do. So y'all talking about taking jobs and stuff, strike, you know, we have to do something, or I'm not shopping at the stores. We're going to start growing our, okay, I'm not trying to make a revolution or anything. I'm just saying, if it comes to that point, I think that globally, you know, they know that people need work. You can't do that. That's not cool. Oh, my speaker is about to fall over. Okay, you guys, we've been on here for 40 minutes, child. It's been let's do a couple more. What did we say we're going to look at? Okay, we can look at SQQQ. I mean, this is a short of what we already talked about. And actually, I think this isn't on, I don't want to do too much. This is maybe on my list for the watch list for Discord tonight. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys didn't know, SQQQ is a short ETF. And basically, that's the opposite movement of SPY and QQQ. So really fun game to play. I'm probably trading SPY every day. That's literally my go-to, and I've really been kind of falling in love with SQQQ, because when SPY is down, SQQQ is doing this thing. And I was literally just looking at this the other day. It's kind of been a little tight here, so looking on the daily, you know, the most we can get from that is, I would consider us in an uptrend right now. We're trading above both my 50 and 200 period moving averages here. You can't see it there. It's a little tight there. But yeah. So you can see here, this is just on some fibs we already drew. Kind of around the 30th, so the end of September, we were on our way up. So remember, this is an opposite of the overall market. So when the market is dropping, this is going up. So this is showing that the market has been plummeting, child. We have high interest rates. We have the Federal Reserve meeting minutes. They said that they don't care that, you know, people are losing their jobs. That's what they want. They want everything to slow down, so that inflation can come down to around that 2% that they're looking for. So yeah, we kind of hit that 61 $2.47. So that's going to be the 100% mark on our fibs. We rejected that, kind of came back down here to our 61%. So this is that $50 range. And you see that we've been moving back up to that. We used it as resistance again. Use this as support, that 55. So we're having those higher highs, higher lows, and now we are once again back here at that 61. This is beautiful. So I would love to see, we just had that breakout last week. So let's see if we kind of, I wouldn't mind a cute little fall back down, because you kind of see that momentum got a little slow towards the end of the day. So what's this pattern? Would you consider this a rising three, or what, three green soldiers? I call it the three green soldiers. I don't know why they call it. I call it three green, and then, you know, for the opposite, the red, I call it three black crows, whatever. But yeah, you kind of see that strong bullish candle, slightly lower volume, momentum is dropping. But don't sleep on this though. We literally just had a moving average, or excuse me, a MACD cross here on last week's. This is on the 4-hour chart. So yeah, I'm still bullish on this. But like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing a cute little drop back down to the 61 going into next week. See if we use that level as support, and boom, rebound. So that's going to mean lower lows for the overall market though. So I mean, if you're holding on to shares, just hedge it with options. That's all I can say. Do some credit spreads. I still have that Tesla credit spread open. It doesn't expire until October the 21st. And actually at market close on Friday, I opened a Tesla call. So it's down about 3% right now. Let's go back to Tesla real quick. Hold on, you guys. I'm sorry. I'm being biased tonight. But I just wanted to show you something really quickly. And I'm going to take these fib lines off. But the only reason I just kind of want to see what happens going into next week, using these Heikin-Ashi candles, because I'm into my trend. Oh, that's not Tesla. I was like, what is that? Okay. Using the Heikin-Ashi candles, look at how weak it's getting there. So we've been dropping all week. And look at how we closed on Friday. It's giving a little spinning top. It's giving some top. Oh. I didn't mean that. But it's giving a spinning top. So going into earnings, I still have my option for Friday. So I'm not worried too much. What's my theta? Oop. Oh, okay. This is what. So I'm just going to be completely honest with you. This option is a little bit expensive. It was about $2,000. But my expiration date is March 2013. So my theta is 0.1 for Tesla. So I'm going to hold on to this for a cute little piece and see what happens going into earnings. But yeah. Okay, let's do one more, you guys. Sharon said you can't replace people. I'm telling you. Oh, I didn't look at Meta. Oh, sorry, you guys. My bad. Let's look at Meta. See, while I'm over here going all over the place, we have 97 likes, almost 134 people. Let's make sure we click that thumbs up button for Foxtail. It makes her feel good. It makes me feel important and loved. Same thing for Meta. And I'm just going to leave the Heikin-Ashi candle stick on here. So look at Meta. I mean, she has just been going through it, child. Oh, my God. She's been eating up this bear market. Now, one thing that's cute is, of course, I'm still going to be bearish on the stock. I haven't seen too much fundamentally. You know, they keep talking about these little glasses and all this other stuff. I'm not into that. I'm not into all that meta stuff. I'm really sorry, I'm not. The glasses don't do anything for me. So I'm still gonna be bearish on them. But looking at how low we are, we literally hit that 0%. So to me, I want to possibly see a cute little pull upwards really quickly and see how we react around this key level. So it wouldn't be terrible to see Meta have a pull upwards to this 149 period. And it doesn't even have to get all the way there, but just a little pull upwards. The RSI, you know, it's definitely in the oversold area, but it can stay oversold for an extended period of time, so that's not telling me too much. But I wouldn't mind a little relief rally. Is that what they call it, relief rally? I need some relief. And just looking at that Heikinashi, we can see that on Friday, this I would consider some uncertainty, but just keep in mind with that Heikinashi, it's an averaged candlestick, so it's not going to give you that, you know, that real life data. This is average. So if we change it back to, okay, I mean, that looks like a little rejection to me. I don't know. So we'll see what happens going into next week. For me, let's move to the 4 hour. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. So when you ask me how do I feel about Meta long term, I feel bearish. I'm not into these little glasses. I don't even get on Facebook like that. It's all about Instagram and TikTok. So, I mean, we'll see what happens with Meta. Oh, wait, no, I sound silly. Facebook owns Instagram, don't they? Well, good for them. They got something that's still popping off. But yeah, I'm still going to be bearish. But like I said, I wouldn't mind seeing what happens going into next week. So for me, if I'm going to be bullish, I want to see a move above this super trend. So that'll be around 130. We closed at 126, so it's about $4. That's not too much. But like I said, just be careful. We literally look like we have a bearish crossover here. The MACD histogram is getting a little weak. So we could continue in that downtrend, especially if we cross below that key 126, which is literally where we are. So if we get down to my entry for bearish, I need to see it move, first of all, cross below that key level, and then a candle close, you know, below these support candles from last week. So, you know, it looks like it'll kind of be around that 123. So we'll see what happens going into next week for Meta, but it's not looking good. I'm sorry. Mark Zuckerberg's metaverse is getting I'm not laughing at their pain. It said metaverse gets slammed in internal documents. An empty world is a sad world. See, I told you, y'all just sitting here trying to sit in these chairs with these little glasses on. You need to get up and go outside. We don't need these glasses. We need some more outside, we need more exercise. You know, if they have Meta workouts and stuff like that and doing that, that would be good, but we need more interaction outside with real people. So I'm not an advocate for this virtual reality stuff. Not for me. So, you know, that's just my little tidbit on that, but I think we can go ahead and wrap it up. We've been on here for about 50 minutes. We have reached 112 likes. That makes me smile. All right. Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Ashley said head and shoulders on Tesla. I'm here for it. It's the smile for me. Thank you, T. Put City, I'm here for it, Bobby. No shade. On life support. iRobot coming to real life. It better not. What was that? Who was that robot that Will Smith was hanging out with? Sonny? With that little wink? Tick, tick, tock for Meta. Buenos noches. I know that's right. Okay, you guys. Thank you, Asia. What's going on, J-Red? Let's look. I mean, I don't really do SPX too much. They're a little bit high for me. God, dog. Yeah, that's the actual S&P 500. Let's come back here, you guys. Hold on. This is the last one. Hold on, you guys. Stop asking me that. That's none of your business. That has nothing to do with stocks. Don't worry about that. Now, this is SPX. This is the actual S&P 500. Okay, no SPY, no E. This is it. Okay. It still looks the same. It's giving downtrend. And the easiest thing that we can see here is lower lows and lower highs. But one thing that's interesting is it looks like we're at a low right now. That same low from June. Okay, so just kind of going into the rest of the month, and I'm gonna draw the same fib lines here. Yeah, it's looking a little slight. It's looking a little light and slight and low. Because just look at where we are. We've So this has been since about late September, and this is going to be really similar to SPY. So those of you who missed the beginning where we were talking about SPY, this is kind of a repeat. It's just on the actual S&P 500. You see this key level, and they were talking about it in the news, this key 3,700, 3,700. It was really kind of keeping it cute around there, playing around, and it rejected it a few times. And it looks like it rejected it again on Friday. So to me, it looks like we're on our way back down to this 34.91. So we did kind of reach that. That was a lower wick, but we reached that on the 13th. So it looks like we're, probably going to continue moving down that way. So for me, going into next week, oh yeah. For me, going into next week, I'm just going to use the super trend indicator here. So for me, if I'm looking for bearish entry, it's probably going to be around this 35.60 area. So we closed at 35.80, 35.60 still says $20. This is $3,500, stock or ETF. This is a stock or ETF. Oh, they won't tell me. I'll have to Google it. That's fine. Oop. And for calls, for me, you already know what I'm going to say. I need to see it move above my EMA lines here. This is the 5 and 10 EMA line on a 1 hour chart. I moved it in a little bit, but that price is probably going to be around 3,600. So it looks like it's maybe $10 or $20 either way. So that's that for XPX. What do these options look like? Oop, and the implied volatility is cute. It's below 30. This is something that you can do. They don't show me the premiums though. It must be high. Hold on. Yeah, it must be astronomical because they're not showing me the price. So yeah, okay, I'm finished. But one thing I'm gonna say, I was looking at some furniture this weekend, and I went to this new store and they didn't have the prices on anything. They had this little QR sticker that you're supposed to scan it with your phone. Like I'm supposed to do that every time I want to look at the price. Just tell me what the price is. And I was like, okay, anytime you won't just tell me what it is, it must be high. So when you scan it, every couch, 5,000, 7,000 here. I mean, it's for somebody. It's a little high though. So anyways, you guys, that's it for tonight. We've been on here a long time, so I will see you guys going into next week. Cream pie. You're funny. Well, is my other channel? No, and you don't have to comment on this one or that one. Your opinion doesn't matter if you're gonna be negative. That's not nice. Anyway, so I'll see you guys next week. So make sure you thumbs up this video. Make sure you subscribe, turn on those notifications, and yeah. I'll see you next week. Bye, you guys.